Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Many people in Zimbabwe have come to accept that when the people went out on the street to support the military coup of 2017, that was a big mistake. And one the nation has come to regret. The reason why it was a mistake is very simple. The people genuinely thought that military coup would put an end to the Mugabe dictatorship and create the environment that will allow democracy to thrive. They believed that and they supported it on that ground. And the people who staged the coup promised that they will stamp out corruption, one of the biggest problems that the nation that has held down the nation, and that they will have free, fair, and credible elections. And the people believed it. But it wasn't long before it became clear that it was a mistake, because those responsible for the coup had no intention whatsoever of stamping out corruption or holding free, fair, and credible elections. That is why the people have since called 17th of November a big mistake. But when political leaders like Nelson Chamisa joined the bandwagon and claimed that we made a serious national mistake, one cannot help but sit back and question the cynicism of that statement. Was it a mistake by the leaders? It's one thing, the ordinary person making a mistake. But was it a mistake by the leaders? The answer is no. They knew what they were doing. Even if we accept it was a mistake, was this the only mistake? The answer has got to be no. The most serious act of betrayal by the MDC leadership was to fail to implement even one token democratic reform when they had the golden opportunity to do so during the GNU. In 5 years of the GNU, they failed to implement even one token reform. Was that a mistake? You have to be really incredibly naive to believe that was a mistake. Of course, that wasn't a mistake. That was an act of betrayal. Mugabe bribed Morgan Tsvangirai and his MDC friends with the trappings of high office, and they forgot about the reforms. Some of the ZANU-PF cronies were asked during the GNU, why is MDC leaders not implementing reforms? And they openly boasted, Mazwane MDC they will not rock the boat. They're enjoying the benefits of the gravy train. They're not going to rock the boat. And that is genuinely what happened. Should the nation call that a mistake? No. That was a deliberate and calculated act of treacherous betrayal. They didn't stop there either. When they failed to implement the reforms, the MDC leaders started telling their followers that they can still win the elections because they've devised ways of stopping ZANU-PF rigging the elections. In 2018, CHAMISA told his followers that MDC Alliance have devised stringent measures to stop ZANU-PF rigging the elections. People believed him, and they participated in those elections only to give ZANU-PF legitimacy and perpetuate the dictatorship. That was not a mistake. That was deliberate. It didn't stop there. 5 years later, he made the same idiotic promise. This time that he had plugged all the vote rigging loopholes. MDC was going to win, CCC was going to win big. Here he is telling people just a few days before voting that CCC was going to win.
Makorokoto Zimbabwe nokuti hakuna munhu anomira kana denga raronga plan. Denga raronga plan, denga harifoiri. Plan yaMwari haifoiri. Ini ndatanga kugadzira cabinet. There is no way we are not going to form a new cabinet. There is no way we are not going to have a celebration. There is no way we are not going to have an inauguration. Let's start preparing for our inauguration. Let's start preparing for our celebration.
Was that a mistake? The answer is no. He knew he had not plugged any vote rigging loopholes. He knew that ZANU-PF was rigging the 2023 elections and that participating will give that regime legitimacy. What is more, even some of the things that he could have done, he failed to do. CHAMISA could have deployed election agencies at all the polling stations. He did not. Something that is so obvious. And it turns out it is not because he didn't have the money. He had the money. He was given the money to pay for it. He failed to deploy and instead used the money, pocketed it, according to one of the CCC senior leaders. This is a comment by Wende on that very point. To keep on pretending that it was a mistake is an outrage. That was not an outrage. That was not a mistake. That was deliberate. I think what is really annoying here is when leaders commit a deliberate and calculated act of treacherous betrayal, and they trivialize it and pretend it was a mistake. That cannot be acceptable. We have to accept responsibilities. And in countries with a healthy and functioning democratic system, where leaders are held to account, the leaders, they make a serious mistake, even if it's not proven that it was a deliberate and calculated act of treason, and they resign. In Africa, it's all swept under the carpet. This is one of the problems we have. Our failure to hold those to account to the point where they don't get away with it. Here is a video clip of Samuel, the prophet Samuel, explaining the issues of the leaders who make serious mistakes, and that there are some mistakes that cannot be undone.
Jonathan, why didn't you say so? Are you hurt? You've not lost your strength. An old man's strength, huh? And I have a very good stick. Ela.
Drink this. It will help calm you. Good to see you after all these years. Such a strong young man you have become.
You remain a gracious host. Wish I could say the same for your husband.
His burdens were heavy on his shoulders. He has to take them out on someone.